The story begins with a young girl named Kimiju. Ever since she was little, people often mistook her for a boy because of her looks. When they asked her mother, she would gently reply, "No, she's a girl. Her name is Kimiju." Sadly, Kimiju was never considered pretty. Neighbors and relatives constantly made fun of her appearance, calling her ugly. Even so, her mother would always comfort her, saying that she would grow beautiful one day. One day, Kimiju wore a Cinderella dress to school, hoping to feel special. Instead, the other children laughed at her and called her a monster. This deeply hurt her. Years later, in high school, nothing had changed. She longed to make friends, but her classmates ignored her. Some girls bullied her and forced her to do their work. During this time, Kimiju developed a small crush on a boy who worked in the school cafeteria. Gathering all her courage, she one day tried to confess her feelings and give him a gift. But instead of accepting it, the boy harshly rejected her and insulted her appearance, telling her to look at herself in the mirror. His cruel words broke her heart. At that moment, the same girls secretly recorded her while she cried and questioned why everyone hated her. Instead of showing sympathy, they shared the video with the entire class, making her the center of cruel jokes. Completely shattered, Kimiju later stands alone on a rooftop, feeling like she has no reason to go on. Just as she is about to make a terrible decision, a boy suddenly appears and pulls her back to safety. In the struggle, her glasses fall off, and she can't clearly see his face. This boy is Suho. He scolds her, asking why she would think of giving up like that, and reminds her to think about her family. After saying this, he turns to leave. As he heads downstairs, he finds the elevator isn't working and takes the stairs. Kimiju, unable to see properly without her glasses, follows him in fear and accidentally slips. Suho catches her, lifts her onto his back, and carries her down safely. She thanks him shyly, but he tells her not to call him sir again. Later, he helps her into a taxi so she can return home safely. At home, Kimiju finds her mother crying after arguing with her father. Feeling helpless, she begs her mother to let her get plastic surgery, believing it will fix everything. Her mother scolds her for thinking that way. Soon after, Kimiju starts watching makeup tutorials, hoping to change herself. The next day, she goes to school wearing makeup, but her lack of experience makes her look unusual, and her classmates laugh at her even more. Heartbroken, she begs her mother to transfer her to another school, saying she can't face that humiliation again. Her mother finally agrees, and they decide to move back to their old home. Kimiju feels a sense of relief and happiness for the first time in a long while. After moving, Kimiju begins practicing makeup seriously. She fails many times but doesn't give up. With patience and effort, she slowly improves until she masters it. On her first day at the new school, she arrives with a completely transformed look. Her makeup is flawless, and everyone is stunned by her beauty. For the first time, Kimiju starts to believe that she can be seen as beautiful. Meanwhile, her teacher looks at her records, expecting a top student to arrive. The teacher expects a top student to arrive, but that student turns out to be Suho, not Kimiju. When Suho enters the classroom, everyone's attention shifts to him. Kimiju is left speechless. She has never seen someone so handsome before. The teacher asks Suho to guide Kimiju to her class. As she nervously follows him, she accidentally bumps into him and her makeup stains his uniform. Suho, who is admired by every girl in school but cares about none of them, looks down at his ruined shirt and gets annoyed. He coldly tells her to clean it. Later in class, Kimiju is introduced and her classmates warmly welcome her, praising her beauty. For the first time, she feels accepted. Soon, two girls approach her Lai, who only befriends pretty girls, and Kang-soo, who is also very attractive, and they quickly become her friends. Kimiju later tries to clean Suho's uniform, but the stain won't come out because her makeup is waterproof. She apologizes and promises to get it dry cleaned, but Suho dismisses her and tells her not to bother. Meanwhile, her new friends invite her out for dinner. That evening, Kimiju experiences something she's never had before: laughing, eating, and taking photos with friends. For the first time, she truly feels like she belongs. That night, as she happily chats with her friends online, her brother secretly takes a picture of her without makeup. He threatens to expose her real face to everyone. Panicked, Kimiju begs him to delete it. He agrees, but only if she buys him the latest volume of a comic. With no choice, she rushes to a bookstore and finds the last copy. But just as she grabs it, Suho takes it first. They struggle over the book and fall to the ground, locking eyes in an awkward moment. Kimiju worries he might recognize her, while Suho wonders if she's the same girl he saved before. In the end, she gives up the book and tries to leave, but the shopkeeper stops her and insists she eat before going. Nervous that Suho might recognize her without her disguise, she quickly eats while avoiding him. Surprisingly, Suho sits next to her and offers her the comic while she eats. After finishing in a hurry, Kimiju runs away. Suho is left confused by her behavior. The shopkeeper then casually reveals that he has known Kimiju since she was a child, making Suho even more curious. Later, while shopping for makeup, Kimiju runs into Siomi, one of the girls who used to bully her. The painful memories overwhelm her, and she runs away in tears. Suddenly, a motorbike skids in front of her and the rider falls. Worried, she rushes to help him. As he removes his helmet, she is stunned to see another incredibly handsome boy standing before her. The boy she met was Han, the second male lead. However, he didn't stay long. A group of boys suddenly chased him, forcing him to run away in a hurry. Before leaving, he quickly handed his helmet to Kimiju. Soon after, those boys caught Han and started beating him, but the police arrived just in time to save him. Later, Kimiju tried to return the helmet, but when she finally found him, Han looked at her suspiciously and questioned who she was. Frightened by his reaction, Kimiju ran away, still holding on to the helmet. Meanwhile, Suho was at wrestling practice when his father appeared after 7 years. Instead of being happy, Suho reacted coldly and told him to leave. His father tried to show concern, but their conversation quickly turned into a fight. Suho, filled with anger and painful memories of his mother's death, ended up defeating him. As he walked away, his father softly asked if they could have dinner together for his birthday, but Suho refused, not wanting anyone to know about his famous father. Later, at the comic shop, Kimiju found a horror book with a sticker she had placed there as a child, bringing back old memories. At that moment, Suho arrived and asked her to move. Startled, she tried to step aside, but slipped and fell straight into his arms. Suho smirked and teased her, saying she seemed to have a habit of falling into him. Kimiju panicked, wondering if he had recognized her. She quickly begged him not to reveal her secret. However, Suho misunderstood her, thinking she was talking about her past attempt to harm herself, while Kimiju feared he had discovered her real face without makeup. Despite the confusion, the two ended up talking more comfortably than before. When Kimiju mentioned her favorite horror comic, Suho was surprised to learn it was his favorite too. He asked her to bring it for him, and she agreed. When she found out it was his birthday, Kimiju wished him and gave him a small gift her childhood sticker once again, asking him to keep her secret. This time, Suho promised he would. The next day, Kimiju arrived at school with her sister Junie. As she walked in, she almost tripped again, but managed to stop herself right in front of Suho, who looked at her with his usual cold expression. Outside the school, Junie notices their teacher, Mr. Keter, Moon gently playing with a child, and something about him instantly grabs her attention. That evening, Suho quietly sticks Kimiju's sticker onto his lamp at home, while Kimiju carefully packs his jacket and the horror comic into her bag. On the bus the next day, boys admire her beauty, calling her a princess, which makes her feel special. At school, Kimiju is walking with Lei and Kangsu, when a boy suddenly arrives on a motorbike. She freezes its Han, the same boy she met earlier. Students excitedly whisper that Han, Suho, and June are all back. Lei explains that Han and Suho used to be close friends but are now enemies. In class, Han immediately recognizes Kimiju while she starts acting awkwardly around Suho's, thinking he knows her secret. Her strange behavior annoys him. Later, Kimiju secretly asks Suho to meet her on the rooftop. When he arrives, he bluntly asks if she likes him. She quickly denies it, but he tells her to stop acting like they are close and walks away. Instead of feeling hurt, Kimiju feels relieved. This means he doesn't recognize her true identity. Feeling happy, She runs after him and manages to take his bag as an excuse to talk again. That evening, Soo-hol calls her and asks her to return his things. Shocked, Kimiju wonders how he got her number, but he calmly says it's easy for him. Confused about whether he means her real self or her makeup identity, she decides to test him. She meets him wearing makeup on only half her face and Han's helmet. When Suho asks only for the comic book, she realizes he contacted her real, bare-faced self. Nervous, she fixes her makeup before facing him again. The next day at school, she returns his jacket. Later, at a birthday party hosted by Lei's boyfriend, someone suddenly smears cake on Kimiju's face. Terrified that her makeup will come off, she refuses to let anyone touch her and tries to escape. But the crowd surrounds her. Just as she feels trapped, someone steps in, covers her face with a jacket, and pulls her away. Thinking it was Soo-ho, Kimiju quickly fixes her makeup and comes out to thank him, but she's surprised to see it was actually Han. He reminds her to return his helmet, and she awkwardly promises to bring it the next day before running off. Back in class, her classmates apologize to her, and one girl mentions that Suho has never helped anyone before, making Kimiju wonder if he secretly knows the truth about her. Her heart begins to race with confusion and hope. Later, she is seen sitting with her brother, who also studies at the same school. Excited, Kimiju starts telling her brother about Suho, but he interrupts her coldly, warning that Suho might just be trying to get revenge because of her lies. His words fill her with fear. The next time she sees Suho in the hallway, she panics and runs to hide in her classroom. However, Suho calmly follows her and simply hands over a notebook the teacher had asked him to deliver. That evening, Suho calls her and asks to meet at the comic shop. When Kimeju arrives, she nervously greets him, but Suho looks confused and says it doesn't feel like they haven't met before. He mentions a girl at his school who looks like her. Thinking quickly, Kimiju lies that it's her twin sister. But Suho isn't convinced. He points out that even the name is the same. With no way out, Kimiju finally admits the truth and challenges him, asking if he plans to expose her. Pretending to be brave, she walks away. But once she reaches home, fear takes over as she worries about what he might do. The next morning, she decides to face him, but when she sees him, her courage disappears. She quietly begs him not to reveal her secret and promises to do anything he asks. Suho agrees with a slight smile and immediately starts testing her. During class, he messages her to bring him water, and she rushes to do it without hesitation. Later, while carrying his things, Kimiju runs into Han again. He asks about his helmet and she promises to return it soon. But that night, she discovers her brother has already sold it. Furious, she demands he fix the situation, and he promises to get it back within a week. At the same time, her sister Junie waits outside school, thinking about Mr. Moon. When his car breaks down, she takes the chance to help him and ends up having a long conversation, even getting his phone number. The next day, Kimiju gives Han a note. His friends tease him, thinking it's a love letter. But inside, she simply explains that her brother sold the helmet and asks for time. Han becomes angry after reading it. Later, Suho gives Kimiju another task: bring him a comic book within 10 minutes. She rushes to the shop but finds the last copy already bought by a little boy. Desperate, she tries to convince him, but he refuses. Thinking quickly, she acts silly like a zombie to make him laugh, and the boy finally gives her the book. Watching from afar, Suho can't help but smile at her efforts. Even after that, Suho continues ordering her around at school, not even giving her time to eat properly. Meanwhile, Han visits his mother in the hospital, where she gently warns him to stop riding bikes. As he leaves, he sees Suho's father and becomes filled with anger, blaming him for his friend's death. In another moment, Kimiju was scrolling through Newgram, quietly happy as she saw the many likes on her photo. One like caught her attention. It was from Xiaomi, the girl who used to bully her. Just then, Suho sent her another request for a comic. Kimiju quickly headed out, but heavy rain suddenly started falling. As she rushed, she slipped and bumped into a group of boys. They laughed harshly when they saw her smeared makeup, calling her ugly. Their words hurt deeply, bringing back painful memories she had tried to forget. By the time she reached Suho, she was soaked and limping. Without much concern, he coldly said she should have brought an umbrella. Trying to stay strong, Kimiju replied that she would go get one right away, but Suho stopped her, saying that wasn't what he meant. Overwhelmed with emotion, she finally broke down. Through tears, she accused him of being just like everyone else, someone who hurts her because she's weak. She told him he had no right to treat people that way, calling him a bad person as her voice shook. For the first time, Suho's expression softened. He quietly apologized and then noticed her injury. Without hesitation, he brought a bandage and carefully treated her wound. Not far away, Han watched everything with a tense expression, clearly upset. The next day, he confronted Suho angrily, blaming him for a past tragedy and accusing him of living without guilt. He pushed Suho before walking away. Soon after, Han sat next to Kimiju in the cafeteria, openly declaring that he would sit with her. Seeing this made Suho furious, and the tension between the two quickly turned into a fight. They threw punches at each other, anger taking over. Han hit Suho hard, and just as Suho was about to strike back, a teacher rushed in and stopped them, loudly scolding both of them for their behavior. Later, as Suho walked back to class in silence, Kang-soo stopped him and questioned him with concern. She asked what had happened between him and Han and whether it was connected to Shan. But Suho stayed distant, giving no answer. In the classroom, students began whispering and teasing Kimiju. They joked that both Han and Suho liked her and asked who she would choose. Flustered, Kimiju quickly denied it, insisting they were all misunderstanding the situation. Later, Suho confronted Han and asked him directly what he wanted. Han answered coldly, telling him to simply stay away. That evening, Suho sat alone in the comic shop, lost in sad memories from his childhood. He remembered sitting there by himself, feeling lonely, until a kind little girl came and tried to cheer him up. That girl was Kimiju, and now, by fate, she had returned to his life. Soon after, Kimiju walked into the shop pretending it was just by chance. She gently told Suho that he and Han should make peace. Then she thanked him for keeping her secret, her bare face, without makeup, and called him her protector. Her words stayed with him, leaving him deep in thought. At the same time, Junie waited outside the school, hoping to see Teacher Moon, but he never showed up that day. Back in class, the teacher called on Kang-soo and Suho to solve math problems. Kimiju struggled with hers and quietly asked Suho for help, but he ignored her and walked away after finishing his own. Feeling embarrassed, she couldn't solve it, and Han laughed. The teacher got annoyed and asked Han to solve it instead. Later, Lei and Kang-soo suggested that Kimiju join a math academy and invited Suho too, but he refused and started to leave. As he walked away, Lei jokingly showed Kimiju a boy's picture and asked if she would go on a date with him. Without thinking much, she agreed. Nearby, Suho overheard this and felt a wave of jealousy. That evening, Kimiju got on a bus to go home, and surprisingly, Suho boarded the same one. They talked casually until Kimiju received a message from the boy she planned to meet. Suho's tone turned serious as he told her to focus on her studies instead of dating. But Kimiju softly replied that she just wanted to experience life and know what going on a date feels like. She even leaned closer and asked him playfully about blind dates. This only made Suho more jealous, but before he could respond, another boy sat between them and took her attention. Frustrated, Suho got off the bus, unable to hide his anger. The next day, Kimiju's mother prepared her for the date by giving her a facial. Just then, Han arrived with his mother, who turned out to be Kimiju's mom's close friend, creating an unexpected and awkward situation. Kimiju was shocked and quickly panicked. To hide her bare face, she hurriedly spread the face pack all over her skin. But in her rush, she slipped and fell off the bed. Han saw her clearly in that moment and instantly recognized her. Inside the house, their mothers were happily talking, proud that their children went to the same school. Kimiju's mom praised Han, calling him handsome, but Han playfully revealed that Kimiju was going on a date that day. Hearing this, her mom's expression changed, and she began scolding her. Not staying quiet, Kimiju fired back, pointing out that Han still rode his bike carelessly and had almost caused an accident with her. Outside, Han warned her not to tell his mother anything about him again. Kimiju confidently replied that she was good at keeping secrets. Later that evening, she got ready and went to meet her date. They watched a movie together, unaware that Suho was secretly following them and watching everything. After the movie, the boy asked to meet her again. But as soon as Kimiju left, he called his actual girlfriend. From a distance, Suho saw this, his anger rising. When Kimiju got home, she received a message from the boy apologizing and admitting he already had a girlfriend. Her heart broke, and though her sister tried to comfort her, the truth was even worse. It was Suho who had taken the boy's phone, sent that message, and beaten him up out of anger. The next day at school, things got worse. Kimiju teased Han by taking a picture of his bike, but Han struck back by showing a secret photo he had taken of her wearing the face pack. He threatened to expose it if she didn't delete his picture. Just then, Suho stepped in, telling Kimiju not to waste time and to focus on her studies. But before anything could be fixed, Han showed her embarrassing photo to the whole class, and everyone burst into laughter. Humiliated, Kimiju decided to get back at him. She secretly took his bike keys and ran off. Han chased her angrily, and soon Suho appeared too, the tension between the two boys rising again. Afraid another fight would break out, Kimiju shouted at them to stop, telling each of them to go their own way. Later, she met her friends for a group study session, only to be surprised when Suho showed up as well. When questioned, he casually acted like he had never refused. After studying, they all went to a karaoke bar, laughing and enjoying themselves. Outside, Kimiju spotted Han's bike and, still annoyed, started kicking it. Han caught her and demanded to know what she was doing. At that moment, she noticed Suho nearby at a shop. Worried they might fight again, she quickly grabbed Han and pulled him away. But Suho had already seen them together. That same night, trouble found them again when some of Han's enemies showed up, forcing both him and Kimiju to run for safety. The gang chased Han and Kimiju through the streets, not giving up easily. Seeing the danger, Suho ran after them. While Han and Kimiju managed to hide, Suho was caught instead. Mistaking him for Han's friend, the gang surrounded him. But Suho didn't back down. He fought them off with strong and quick moves until they finally retreated. Later, since Kimiju had no money, Han walked her home. But outside her house, Suho was already waiting, clearly upset. He angrily questioned Han for bringing her home, while Han fired back, asking why Suho was even there. Their argument quickly turned into another fight, but it was suddenly interrupted when Junie appeared, drunk and stumbling. Both boys rushed to help her, but in the chaos, she ended up vomiting all over Suho's clothes. Feeling bad, Kimiju quickly promised to wash them for him. As things calmed down, Han looked straight at Suho and asked if he liked Kimiju. Suho didn't answer directly and instead questioned Han back. Han simply smirked and said he might give it a try. The next day at school, Han surprised Kimiju with a softer side. He gave her his bike keys and told her he would listen to whatever she said from now on. Nearby, Suho watched silently, his expression darkening. When Kimiju tried to follow Han, Suho grabbed her hand and stopped her, telling her not to go after him. When she asked if he had something to say, he quickly avoided the question. Later in class, Kimiju tried to return Han's keys, but he refused and insisted he would change his habits for her. He even gave her a bottle of lemon juice, but she casually said she only liked strawberry juice. Watching this, Suho grew more irritated. Soon, classmates began whispering that Han and Kimiju must like each other. During chemistry lab, Suho quietly pulled Kimiju to sit beside him and handed her a strawberry juice. This small gesture made her heart race, and she began to wonder if he was starting to care for her. At lunch, Han once again sat next to her, which annoyed her, while some girls secretly took pictures of them together. Meanwhile, in another part of the school, a girl named Juhei who looked very similar to Kimiju was being bullied. The girls mocked her and told her not to join the singing competition, saying she wasn't pretty enough. Kimiju stood quietly, watching everything without saying a word. Later, while riding the bus with Kang Soo, She became nervous when Xiaomi suddenly appeared. Xiaomi recognized her from social media and complimented her beauty, but Kang-soo quickly pulled Kimiju away and got off the bus with her. That evening, Soo-ho called Kimiju outside to get his jacket back. She explained it wasn't dry yet but promised to return it soon. Just as she was about to leave, Soo-ho asked her to play basketball with him. While playing, Kimiju slipped and Soo-ho caught her in time. As she tried to step away, he suddenly pulled her into a hug. Shocked, she asked why he did that, and Soo-ho, embarrassed, made a quick excuse, saying he just wanted her to smell his new perfume. The next day, Kimiju saw those same girls bullying Juhee again. This time she stepped in boldly, splashing water on them and warning them to stop. She even declared that Juhee was like her sister. Later, Juhee thanked her, but admitted she was too scared to perform on stage because people might judge her appearance. Kimiju encouraged her not to give up and promised to help her. Determined, Kimiju sat at a bus stop watching makeup tutorials so she could prepare Juhee for the performance. While she was practicing, Soo-ho showed up. As she explained Juhee's situation, Kimiju shared her own insecurity, saying she sometimes felt even uglier without makeup. Soo-ho gently told her that wasn't true and that she was beautiful just the way she was. His words stayed with her. On the bus ride home, Kimiju couldn't stop thinking about what he said and began to wonder if he liked her. Gathering courage, she texted him, asking if they could watch a movie together the next day. Soo-ho happily agreed, and reading his reply filled her with excitement. Meanwhile, Soo-ho went to return Han's key, which he had taken earlier. He warned Han not to involve Kimiju in their conflict, and openly admitted that he liked her. Han smirked and teased him, asking if he was scared of losing her. Their conversation quickly turned serious as Soo-ho demanded to know how long Han would keep blaming him for Shan's death. Han coldly replied that it would never end, and warned that if Kimiju ever found out, she might see Soo-ho as a criminal. Elsewhere, Junie invited Teacher Moon to dinner, but the evening took a surprising turn when she confessed her feelings to him. Back at school, Kimiju helped Juhee get ready for the singing competition by doing her makeup. When Juhee stepped on stage, everyone was amazed by her beauty and talent. Even her brother seemed impressed, hinting at a growing admiration. Afterward, Kimiju discovered that Juhee was actually Han's sister. Later, Kimiju asked Soo-ho about their movie plan, but instead of keeping his promise, he suddenly acted distant and told her she had misunderstood, leaving her confused and hurt. Soo-ho suddenly pushed Kimiju away, saying he had only been kind out of pity. His words shattered her. Holding back tears, she told him not to feel sorry for her and walked off, unaware that Han had been listening nearby. Soon after, a basketball match took place between Han's team and Soo-ho's team, with Soo-ho's side winning. Later, Soo-ho admitted to Han that everything was his fault, but warned him not to drag Kimiju into their problems again. If he did, he wouldn't stay quiet anymore. That night, Kimiju and her friends went to a live music show. On stage, a band performed a song written by Shan, the boy who had died a year earlier. The crowd whispered about his tragic story, and Kang-soo explained that Shan had once been best friends with both Han and Soo-ho. Ever since his death, Han had blamed Soo-ho. Hearing the song, Soo-ho was overwhelmed with guilt, as painful memories came rushing back, especially the moment Shan had called him before his death, and he didn't answer. The guilt hit him hard, and he started to feel unwell. Kimiju rushed to help, but Soo-ho quietly walked away. Later at home, Kimiju noticed a tag on his jacket that looked familiar. She realized he was the same person who had once saved her life. Shocked, she ran out to find him, but couldn't. Finally, she went to the rooftop where she had once felt completely lost herself. There, she found Soo-ho sitting alone, crying. With a trembling voice, Soo-ho confessed that Shan had ended his life at that very place. Hearing this, Kimiju hugged him tightly and told him she understood everything now. They stayed there together, sharing their pain, until suddenly people rushed in, shouting about a fire in the building. The two quickly escaped together. Later, Soo-ho's father visited him and mentioned attending a parent-teacher meeting. Soo-ho begged him not to come, not wanting others to know their relationship. But the next day at school, when Kimiju saw Soo-ho, she avoided him. At the same time, Han stopped her, but she snapped at him and walked away. In class, report cards were handed out and Kimiju grew anxious seeing her poor grades. Her worry increased when her mother suddenly arrived at school. After seeing the results, her mother got angry, but in a strange moment, she even tried promoting her beauty business to the teacher, making things awkward. Despite Suho's request, his father showed up at school anyway, shocking everyone. Kimiju's mom was especially excited and rushed to meet him, while Kimiju felt deeply embarrassed. Then, in front of everyone, Suho's father revealed that Suho was his son, leaving the class stunned. Humiliated and angry, Suho stormed out. On his way, Han crossed paths with Suho's father and glared at him coldly. Later, Suho confronted his father for showing up, but things only got more uncomfortable when Kimiju's mom interrupted again. The conversation soon turned serious when Han accused Suho's father of ruining Sean's life. It was revealed that Sean's father had once worked for him but was forced out due to rumors. Suho's father admitted he had done it to protect his company, leaving behind a heavy and painful truth. At home, Kimiju's mother tried to throw away all her makeup, blaming it for her poor grades. Desperate, Kimiju begged her to stop and promised she would study harder. At the same time, Kang-soo was also being scolded by her father for her low marks. Back at school, Kimiju and Suho sat next to each other in the chemistry lab, quietly focusing on their work, yet neither of them spoke. Meanwhile, at Han's house, he was dancing around in funny tiger print shorts when he suddenly noticed Kimiju nearby, helping his sister with makeup. Completely embarrassed, he tried to sneak away, but Kimiju teased him, making him rush off to hide. Later, when Kimiju returned home, she was surprised to find Suho already there. Her mother had invited him for dinner and treated him warmly, like family. Though Kimiju felt awkward and scolded her mom, they all sat down to eat. Suddenly, Junie stumbled and drunk, tripped over a wire and caused a blackout. In the darkness, when Kimiju turned on her phone light, she saw Suho buried under everyone while her sister kept eating without a care. Embarrassed, she later walked Suho outside, apologized, and told him to head home. Later that night at an event, Kimiju ran into Sayomi, who recognized her without makeup and started insulting her. Kimiju tried to ignore her and leave, but accidentally dropped her wallet. As Simami picked it up and was about to check her ID, Suho appeared just in time, took it back, and returned it to Kimiju. Though grateful, Kimiju told him he didn't need to help her out of pity. Before Suho could explain, Han showed up, and Suho quickly hid Kimiju and told her to go home. That same night, Han ran into the boys who used to bully him. But instead of fighting, they only talked. It turned out one of them was Siomi's boyfriend. Elsewhere, Teacher Moon visited Junie's mother's beauty parlor, but when Junie suddenly appeared, he panicked and ran away. Junie chased after him in the rain, holding her umbrella. At school the next day, Han looked at Kimiju's photo on his phone. When she came near and teased him, he couldn't stop staring at her, slowly realizing his feelings might be changing. Meanwhile, Samibi's boyfriend saw their photo online and assumed Kimiju was Han's girlfriend. Later, Han went to the hospital to pay his mother's bill, only to find out that Suho had already paid it. That night, as Kimiju was walking home, Siomi's boyfriend and his group suddenly kidnapped her. Around the same time, Han thanked Suho for helping, but told him to stay out of his life. Just then, Han got a call. The boy mocked him, saying he had taken his girlfriend. Furious, both Han and Suho rushed together to save her. The boys had taken Kimiju to a karaoke room, but she stayed calm and secretly sent her location to her friends. Soon, Han and Suho arrived and a fierce fight broke out. Suho fought powerfully, taking down the attackers one by one, while Kang-soo and Lei also showed up to help. The next morning at school, the teacher blamed Han's friends for the fight and began punishing them. But Han stepped forward and took the blame himself. Moments later, Kimiju and her friends arrived and bravely admitted they were involved too, standing together without fear. One by one, they all sat down to write apology letters. Kang-soo looked at Han and bluntly told him he should apologize to Kimiju, reminding him that everything started because of him. She pointed out that the boys kidnapped Kimiju only because they thought she was his girlfriend. Later, in the restroom, Hans spoke quietly to Suho. He said their relationship didn't matter, but his mother's situation was different. He thanked Suho for helping him, but made it clear that from now on, he didn't need his help anymore. Suho didn't argue. Instead, exhausted, he simply rested his head on Han's shoulder, too tired to respond. On his way home, Suho was stopped by Kimiju. She shyly asked him to come to the comic shop with her, but he refused and told her to focus on her studies. Then, after a brief pause, he suggested they meet at a study cafe that night. Hearing this made Kimiju unexpectedly happy. At home, she couldn't stop smiling, lost in thoughts of him, until her mother interrupted and told her to concentrate on studying. That evening, Kimiju reached the study cafe and found Suho already there, asleep at the table. Sitting beside him, she quietly admired him, whispering how handsome he looked. Just then, he woke up, and for a moment they shared a silent, meaningful glance. But the moment quickly faded when their friends arrived, and Suho snapped back to his usual self, teasing her about coming there to study, not sleep. They studied together for a while, but soon everyone began leaving. As Kimiju and Kang-soo stepped outside, Siomi's boyfriend suddenly appeared. He had come to apologize, but Kimiju panicked and sprayed pepper spray at him. In reality, he had only shown up because Suho had been warning and following him for days, making sure he wouldn't bother her again. Soon after, Kimiju took another exam, feeling more confident this time. To relax, she went with Lei to watch her favorite baseball player, Ju Hyung. Lei's boyfriend and Suho also joined them. After the game, Ju Hyung noticed Kimiju and was instantly drawn to her. He approached her and asked for her number. Watching from a distance, Suho's expression darkened with jealousy. As soon as Ju Hyung left, Suho scolded Kimiju, telling her not to give her number to strangers, and then walked off angrily. Meanwhile, Kimiju's brother approached Juhi while she was singing in an empty classroom. He complimented both her voice and her beauty, but Juhi brushed him off, thinking he was strange, and walked away. Later, during baseball practice, Lei's boyfriend confronted Suho directly. He told him he already knew the truth that Suho liked Kimiju and pointed out how jealous he had looked when Ju Ho-young asked for her number. Someone offered Suho advice, claiming he knew how to impress girls. Around the same time, Ju Ha-young asked Kimiju out on a date. They spent time talking and he shared stories about his life, making her feel comfortable. Soon, exam results were announced, but Kimiju's rank was still low. Kang-soo's results were also disappointing, and she stormed out of class in frustration. Suho followed her, worried, but she refused to explain. What others didn't know was that they had been childhood friends, which is why he cared so deeply. Back at school, Yu Ha-young suddenly appeared, catching everyone's attention. Instead of greeting the crowd, he went straight to Kimiju, handed her a baseball, and left, leaving the class stunned. From a distance, Suho watched silently. At the same time, a girl confessed her feelings to him, but he turned her down, saying he already liked someone else. Kimiju overheard this, and her heart stirred with mixed emotions. That night, things got worse at home. Kimiju's mother threw away her makeup again and strictly told her not to use it anymore. Hurt and overwhelmed, Kimiju broke down, saying her mother didn't understand how much pain she had faced because of her looks. Outside, Suho was waiting. Seeing her cry, he quietly took her to the comic shop, where she shared everything. He gently comforted her, telling her she had improved and that he was proud of her efforts, even if the results weren't perfect. On the way back, a small, awkward moment lightened the mood. When a bug landed on Kimiju, Suho tried to help, but she panicked and climbed onto his shoulders instead. Embarrassed, he corrected her, making her quickly step down. Before leaving, he softly placed a hairpin in her hair and said goodbye. The next day, Suho waited outside her classroom, but Kang-soo arrived first. When she tried to avoid him, he stopped her and asked what was wrong. Holding back tears, she finally admitted that her father constantly compared her to him and even punished her when her grades were low. Kang-soo finally broke down in tears, and Suho comforted her with a hug. Just then, Kimiju walked in and saw them together. Misunderstanding the moment, her heart sank. Later in class, when Suho asked her to sit beside him, she ignored him and chose another seat, thinking he liked Kong-soo instead. At home, Kimiju felt hurt and frustrated. She sat alone, complaining to herself that if Suho liked someone else, he should have been honest. She couldn't understand why he had given her the hairpin, calling him confusing and annoying. Later, she went to the mall with Han to buy a birthday gift for Juhai. While they were shopping, Suha called her, and when he heard she was with Han, he became upset. At the store, Kimiju playfully tried lipstick shades on Han, making him uncomfortable, but the moment turned tense when Suho suddenly appeared and tried to pull her away. Han stopped him and the three ended up in an awkward situation until Kimiju escaped as soon as the elevator doors opened. Outside, she ran into Juhyun again. As they talked, she admitted that she already liked someone else. Meanwhile, Suho went to watch Ju Hyung's final match, hoping to see Kimiju there. Han also showed up, and the two sat side by side, their tension obvious. Watching the match on TV, Kimiju was surprised to see them together. After the game, Suho questioned Han about why he came. Han answered coldly that he was there for Kimiju, which only made the tension between them stronger. Later, Suho stood in a jewelry shop, carefully picking out a necklace, finally deciding to confess his feelings to Kimiju. At the same time, Kimiju was packing for a school trip. Her brother teased her about Suho liking her, but she denied it, saying they were just friends. When the trip began, everyone was excited, but things quickly became awkward when Lei pointed out that Kimiju and Han were wearing matching shirts, joking that they looked like a couple. Nearby, Suho felt jealous. On the bus, he asked Kimiju to sit with him, but Kang-soo took the seat first. In the end, Kimiju had no choice but to sit next to Han, while Suho watched silently, hiding his frustration. Even after arriving at the trip site, Kimiju kept avoiding Suho whenever he tried to talk. Later in the tent, she overheard her friends and learned that Kang-soo had known Suho since childhood and secretly liked him. Hearing this made Kimiju's heart sink, though she tried to hide it. During a group game, Kimiju ended up on Han's team while Kang-soo joined Suho's. At one point, Han lifted Kimiju playfully, which made Suho jealous. He almost stepped in, but was stopped. In the end, Suho's team won, and Kang-soo began to question her own feelings. Meanwhile, Kimiju's sister was working at a company owned by Suho's father and planned to re-release Sean's album. She thought Han was the singer Leo, but he refused, believing Sean's death was connected to Suho's father. That night, Suho took Kimiju aside and asked why she had been avoiding him. She denied it, but the tension remained. They found a small boat and shared a light moment taking selfies, but it ended when Kimiju slipped into the water. With her makeup gone, she felt embarrassed and tried to hide her face. When Kang-soo appeared, Kimiju hid behind Suho, and he calmly covered for her, protecting her secret. Soon after, Han's friend saw Kimiju's bare face and panicked, joking she looked like a ghost. Han rushed over, but fainted at the sight. The next morning, on the bus ride back, Kimiju had a fever. Han gently took care of her and placed her head on his shoulder. When Suho arrived, tension rose again. This time, Suho finally admitted that he had liked Kimiju for a long time, but Han coldly replied that it didn't matter to him. That night, the group gathered, laughing and enjoying music. When Han was asked to sing, he chose a love song and looked only at Kimiju, but her eyes were fixed on Suho instead. Kang-soo sat beside him, and unable to bear it, Kimiju quietly walked away. Outside, Lei's boyfriend gave her Suho's jacket and told her to return it. But when she reached him, Kang-soo was already there and had taken it. Feeling alone, Kimiju broke down. Han found her, and through tears, she admitted she liked Suho but believed he liked Kang-soo. Though heartbroken, Han gently comforted her. From a distance, Suho saw everything. When Suho finally approached, he asked why she was crying and if she liked Han. Hurt, Kimiju snapped back, thinking he liked Kang-soo. Before he could explain, their classmates arrived, forcing Kimiju to hide her bare face and run. Suho followed, caught up with her, and pulled her aside. Without hesitation, he confessed his feelings and kissed her. He even gave her a necklace, sincerely telling her he liked her. Overwhelmed, Kimiju finally admitted she felt the same, but her happiness quickly turned into panic when she saw Kang-soo nearby. Without makeup, she felt exposed and broke down, revealing her past struggles and how makeup had become her shield. Kang-soo listened kindly and comforted her, helping her back. The next day, Soo-ho came to school with a rare smile, but Kimiju suddenly avoided him, acting cold and distant. Meanwhile, Han sat quietly, heartbroken after losing her. When Soo-ho tried to talk to Kimiju again, she kept walking away. Later, she finally admitted the truth. She didn't want anyone to know about their relationship. Even so, they secretly spent time together. At a restaurant, Soo-ho cared for her warmly, but they had to hide when classmates appeared. Still, rumors began to spread that Kimiju had a boyfriend. The next morning at the bus stop, she leaned on Han's shoulder and asked about his bike, and he simply said he stopped riding it because of his mother. Back at school, questions about her boyfriend kept coming, but she denied everything. Later, at the comic shop, Kimiju asked Soo-ho why he even liked her, doubting herself because of her looks and grades. Soo-ho gently reassured her that none of those things mattered to him. "I like you just the way you are," Soo-ho told her sincerely. The next day, Kang-soo noticed the necklace Kimiju was wearing and immediately recognized it was the same one she had once returned to Soo-ho. Realizing its meaning, her heart quietly broke. Meanwhile, Kimiju started looking for a part-time job to save money for makeup school. At a studio, she unexpectedly met Han, who was working as a model. When asked to pose with him, she hesitated but agreed for the money. During the shoot, their closeness created an awkward but intense moment that left her unsettled. Elsewhere, Soo-ho had dinner with Kang-soo's family. When her father harshly criticized her grades, Soo-ho stepped in and gently took her away, protecting her from further embarrassment. At the same time, Kimiju shared a meal with Han and told him she and Soo-ho were officially together. Though hurt, Han hid his feelings and encouraged her to be honest about it instead of keeping it a secret, something that made Kimiju feel guilty. Later that night, Soo-ho ran into Kimiju's father after he stormed out during an argument. He brought him home and the two spent time together like family, watching TV and laughing. By morning, Soo-ho kindly convinced him to return home. Meanwhile, Kimiju's brother had developed a huge crush on Juhee, even imagining her everywhere he looked. Back at school, Han helped Kimiju get a job at a coffee shop. She thanked him sincerely. But their moment was interrupted when Soo-ho showed up and took her away. At work, Kimiju accidentally burned her hand. When Han heard, he rushed to check on her, but she had already left. On his way out, he bumped into Samomi and dropped his chain, which she picked up, realizing something important about him. Later, Soo-ho brought Kimiju to his house and showed her a hidden practice room that once belonged to Sean, where he, Han, and Sean used to spend time together. That evening, they sat down for dinner, unaware that Kimiju's father was still secretly staying there. As Soo-ho leaned closer to kiss Kimiju during a scary movie, something completely unexpected happened. Her father suddenly crawled out from under the table. Shocked, Kimiju reacted without thinking and hit him with a pot, knocking him down. Panic and guilt rushed through her as she hurried to check on him, her heart racing. Later, while walking home in an awkward silence, her father finally spoke, his voice serious as he questioned her about being at Soo-ho's house. Nervously, Kimiju admitted that she was dating him. The confession felt heavy in the air. Then she asked her father the same question. After a deep sigh, he revealed his own secret reason for being there. Realizing how risky their secrets were, they both agreed to keep everything that happened a secret. The next morning, Kimiju met her close friend Kang-soo. She was ready to finally tell her the truth about Soo-ho, but before she could speak, Kang-soo shyly confessed that she had liked Soo-ho for a long time and planned to tell him her feelings. Kimiju froze, her heart sinking as her own words disappeared. She forced a smile, hiding the pain building inside her. That night, the weight of her secret kept her awake as she tossed and turned. At the same time, in a comic shop, her brother showed up after finding out that Juhee worked there. Hoping to impress her, he fixed his hair and tried to look his best. But when Han walked in with a lunchbox for Juhee, he misunderstood the situation and assumed Han was her boyfriend. Embarrassed and flustered, he quickly hid and slipped away. Later, Kimiju and Kangshu walked through a lively market. Kangshu happily picked out a cape, her face glowing with excitement as she said she would give it to Suho while confessing her feelings. Hearing this made Kimiju's chest tighten, but she still managed to smile softly, pretending to be happy for her friend even though it hurt deeply inside. After shopping, Kimiju is about to leave for work when Kangsu gently gives her a small gift, hoping to lift her mood. Grateful, Kimiju thanks her and heads to her part-time job at a quiet, cozy cafe. But the moment she arrives, she's surprised Han is working there too. She soon learns he took the job just to be closer to her. That night as they walk home, Kimiju finally shares her worries. She tells Han that Kangsu also has feelings for Suho and doesn't know the truth about their relationship. Afraid of losing her friend, she feels trapped. Han listens carefully and then suggests that if her friendship matters that much, she might need to let Suho go. Sometimes, he says, friendship can mean more than love. When they reach her house, they run into her mother, who warmly invites Han in for dinner. He agrees, but inside, he's surprised to see Suho already there, invited by Kimiju's father. The atmosphere quickly becomes awkward as they all sit together making dumplings. Suho casually asks Kimiju why she was out late with Han. Nervous, she explains they work together, and he quietly accepts it, though his curiosity grows. Soon, Suho wanders into her room and notices old childhood photos. One picture grabs his attention. A young girl smiling near a comic shop. As he looks closer, Kimiju rushes in and tries to take it back, but she slips and falls onto him. For a moment, they lock eyes, their hearts racing until her father suddenly bursts in and pulls her away in shock. Later, while Suho and Han help move the table, tension builds between them. Suho questions why Han is always around Kimiju. Han firmly replies that she's his friend, but the situation quickly escalates into a fight. Dishes crashing, chaos fills the room until Kimiju's mother steps in, scolding them angrily and sending both boys away. That night, alone with the photo, Suho finally realizes the truth. Kimiju is the same girl he used to meet at the comic shop long ago. A soft smile appears on Suho's face as his heart warms. But the next morning at school, everything changes. Students whisper, stare, and laugh as photos of Kimiju and Han spread online. Everyone now believes they're a couple. No matter how much they insist they're just friends, the rumors keep growing. When Suho hears this, jealousy takes over. He calls Kimiju to the terrace and confronts her, asking why she hid the photos. She tries to explain, but he cuts her off and tells her she can't be friends with Han anymore. Hurt, Kimiju reminds him that Kangsu is also his friend, yet she never questioned it. Fighting back tears, she walks away, leaving him silent and shaken. At the same time, Kimiju's sister makes a shocking discovery at work. Sean's song has been released under someone else's name. Angry and heartbroken, she rushes to confront the manager, but she's not even allowed inside his office. Meanwhile, Kansu gathers her courage and visits Suho. She shyly gives him the cape she bought, but he gently refuses, admitting he already has a girlfriend. Her smile fades as she quietly leaves, hiding her heartbreak. Later, Suho tries calling Kimiju, but she ignores him. That night, he waits for her and asks to meet. When she arrives, he tells her to quit her job and stop working with Han. His words hurt deeply. Confused and upset, she asks why, but he has no clear answer, only jealousy and fear. Unable to take it anymore, she walks away. Back home, Kimiju finally breaks down in tears, while across town, Suho sits alone in the dark, just as lost. The next day, Kimiju's sister goes to Suho's father, demanding answers about the stolen song. But to her surprise, he seems completely unaware of what happened. Just then, Suho walks in and hears everything. His expression hardens, anger and betrayal filling his eyes as he storms out. At the same time, Han, who has also discovered the truth about the stolen song, heads to confront Suho's father. But on the way, he runs into Suho. The moment they meet, tension explodes. Harsh words are exchanged, tempers rise, and suddenly, bright headlights flash toward them. A car rushes in, brakes screeching, and a loud crash breaks the night. In an instant, the scene shifts to the past. Inside a small music studio, laughter and soft melodies fill the air. Han, Suho, and Sean are together close friends chasing the same dream. They write songs, support each other, and hope for success. Sean is about to debut under Suho's father's company, and the three celebrate proudly. But everything falls apart when false rumors spread, accusing Sean of bullying. The public turns against him, and the company cancels his debut. His dream shatters overnight. Lost in pain, Sean withdraws from everyone, and one day, the tragedy no one expected happens. He is gone, leaving only heartbreak behind. Back in the present, Kimiju finally tells Kang-soo the truth about dating Suho. Her voice shakes as guilt overwhelms her, tears falling as she admits she hid it because of Kang-soo's feelings. After a long pause, Kang-soo gently smiles and says it's not her fault, accepting the truth. She hugs Kimiju, but behind that calm reaction, jealousy quietly grows in her heart. When Kimiju returns home, Junie rushes to her with shocking news. Suho and Han have been in an accident. Her face turns pale, and without wasting a second, she runs out of the house in fear. At that same time, Suho's father is in a meeting with his manager, unaware of the chaos unfolding. The manager finally breaks down, his voice shaking as he confesses everything. He was the one who spread false rumors about Sean to cover up the father's affair, and he also leaked Sean's song. Suho's father is stunned, anger rising as he realizes the damage caused. He shouts in disbelief, blaming him for ruining an innocent life. The manager lowers his head, unable to respond as silence fills the room. At the same time, Kimiju rushes into the hospital, her eyes filled with tears. She enters a dim room and, thinking it's Suho lying there, begins to apologize through sobs. But she's mistaken, it's actually Han. Just then, Suho walks in. As Han slowly wakes up and questions who she is, Kimiju hides her face in embarrassment. Suho quickly tries to cover it up, first calling her his sister, then awkwardly correcting himself and saying she's his cousin. Later, Kimiju sits beside Suho, relieved that he's safe, though her heart still feels heavy. The next day at school, Kang-soo approaches her with a cheerful smile and suggests they study together. But when Kimiju mentions the accident, Kang-soo's expression changes, hurt that she wasn't told earlier. Her concern mixes with quiet resentment. Around the same time, a girl named Jaime from Kimiju's past spots her in the hallway. Later, Jaime runs into Saomi, a known bully, who threatens her to find out if Han is Kimiju's boyfriend or face bullying again. Fear takes over, and Jaime once again feels trapped. Back at the hospital, Kang-soo visits Suho. When Han asks why Kimiju didn't come, Kang-soo lies, saying she's busy with work. Meanwhile, at a cafe, Yooni sits with Teacher Moon, who suddenly panics upon seeing Kimiju and awkwardly hides his face. He admits he doesn't want her to find out he's secretly dating her sister. Later, Kimiju visits Suho again, bringing comic books. As she leans down to pick one up, her hair gets caught in his shirt button, leaving them frozen awkwardly close. At that moment, her brother walks in and completely misunderstands the situation, storming out in frustration. Soon after, Han's friends arrive, and Suho quickly hides Kimiju under a blanket to avoid questions. The room fills with laughter as his friends tease him, unaware of the truth. Elsewhere, Juhi visits her brother, and when she calls him out, he's left completely shocked, not expecting to see her there. Realizing who he's looking at, Kimiju's brother suddenly breaks into a goofy smile, while Han chuckles and mentions that Kimiju's brother has arrived. Later that evening, as Kimiju prepares to leave the hospital, she playfully writes a small teasing message on Han's palm and waves goodbye with a mischievous grin. At the same time, on the street, her brother spots Junie with Teacher Moon. But since he can't see the teacher's face clearly, he grows suspicious and asks if that man is her boyfriend. Junie blushes and avoids answering. Meanwhile, at school, Jaime secretly takes photos of Kimiju, but Kang-soo catches her in the act. When she sees the pictures on Jaime's phone, a strange expression crosses her face. Back in the hospital, Suho's father visits him, but Suho speaks coldly, admitting he once blamed himself for not answering Sean's last call. Now, however, He also blames his father for his mother's death. Hurt and shaken, his father finally reveals the truth that the manager was the one behind the false rumors that destroyed Sean. Outside the room, Kimiju and Han overhear everything, their hearts heavy as Suho breaks down. Suddenly, his breathing becomes unstable, and doctors rush in as he suffers a panic attack from overwhelming stress. Later, Han visits him again and apologizes sincerely, saying he now understands that neither Suho nor his father were responsible for Sean's death. The next morning, shocking news spreads. Suho's father has stepped down from his company, leaving the entire industry stunned. Kang-soo, watching the news, rushes to the hospital. But when she sees Suho with Kimiju, anger and jealousy rise within her, and she leaves without a word. In the end, Suho and Han stand together at Sean's grave, surrounded by silence and sorrow. Suho quietly hands Han a letter Sean had written before he died. As Han reads it, tears fill his eyes, each word reminding him of their friendship and the dreams they once shared. As Suho and Han sit quietly, remembering their lost friend, a passing car suddenly disrupts the moment. A man throws a cigarette at Han, starting an argument. Soon, a group of thugs step out, ready to fight. Seeing Suho still weak, Han quickly grabs him and runs. The ground is slippery and they both fall into the mud, but luckily, the thugs just laugh and leave. Bruised and exhausted, the two manage to get away safely. Later that night, they share a quiet dinner. Suho receives a video call from Kimiju, and his mood instantly softens as her voice comforts him. But when he returns to his room, he finds Han has locked the door from inside. No matter how much Suho knocks, Han doesn't respond, overwhelmed with his emotions, and eventually falls asleep.